Do you understand the compensation plan now? It's extremely important that you know how our compensation plan works. Understanding the compensation plan is like having a map to start your journey. Traveling without a map will lead you to having no sense of direction and not knowing how far you've come. Thus, building the business with knowing the compensation plan will remind you how far you've come and guide you further as you progress to reach the top. And that's how you can organize your plan. I will tell you one way to master the compensation plan quickly. You have to try to explain it yourself. Then, you will find out what you don't know. People who don't know what to ask because they don't know anything. So when you start explaining and getting stuck, you will ask questions and start explaining again. Keep explaining and you'll be able to understand it easily. You should especially explain the compensation plan to your sponsor, and you will master it in no time. Obviously, even if you don't know the compensation plan, the computer will automatically calculate and deposit the commission into your account. Everyone knows that it gets deposited. But still, you should all master the compensation plan. We are a first-class company. First class because it's easy to be number one in the business world. For example, if you want to be number one in school or in a marathon, it's difficult, but it's easier to be number one in business. For instance, if someone had a 4,000 square foot supermarket in the neighborhood, and I opened a new 8,000 square foot supermarket and became number one, then would the number two business be easier or more difficult to operate? It would be tough. Therefore, you have to be number one in business. That's why we are a first-class business and will continue to be one. We are number one in 3 areas, but there are 2 more areas to improve. First, we are number one in quality. In our skincare, color has been removed from the herbs. And like it was mentioned in the news, 500 times more ingredients were put in to produce 100 times greater effectiveness. Hence, the high quality. There are lots of bubbles in the cosmetics industry, and as consumers, you should be aware and use it to your discretion. You have to be a wise consumer. We have aloe vera as an ingredient in our skincare, and aloe vera can be costly. But how costly is it? In reality, whether it's 10 times or 100 times more, it's still not as expensive as you think. When there's an expensive ingredient, there's always someone willing to farm it so that the ingredient doesn't have to be expensive. Because we have the technology to remove color, we're able to put in 100 times more active ingredients. So when I went to the Korean Atomic Energy Institute and observed the herbs boiling and the dark color being removed and changed into a transparent color, I marveled and said, "Wow, this technology is amazing." Here, can you show us the sample for us to see? As you can see, Oriental medicine turns very dark in color after boiling. When plants are boiled, they turn very dark, like this. But with our technology, it becomes clear and transparent. Because it becomes transparent, we are able to put in 500 times more active ingredients. So we can put in as much active ingredients as we want. And the price still doesn't have to be raised that much. Therefore, we're able to put more active ingredients and still sell it at a low price. So when you look at it, we even made our containers look neat and clean. And that's it. We didn't want to invest a whole lot in containers, but wanted to make it look neat and clean. We invested more in the content. Therefore, in terms of quality, our cosmetics are better than any other out there in the world. And that's because we put in the most active ingredients. And the Korean Atomic Energy Institute developed a patented technology, and only SBT has the technology to manufacture it. Because we have the exclusive rights to sell the products, we have the world's best skincare products. There are more famous skincare products out there, but I don't think there are any that are better quality than ours. It can become famous through extensive advertising. There are many products that are way more expensive than ours. They have policies to sell at a high price to cover overhead costs. So there are lots of high-priced skincare products, but I don't think there's any product that has more active ingredients than ours. People who use our products claim that their skin is moisturized all day and see great improvement in their skin's health. We're also number one in selling high quality at low prices. In addition, we're also number one in giving out commission. So unless you have special management experience and knowledge, you won't be able to sell at low prices and also give out lots of commission. Whenever there are sales, funds get distributed in mainly three areas. First, cost of products. Second, giving out commission. Third, management expenses. There are three main areas, and our company spends the majority of the funds on products. Out of all network marketing companies, our company has the highest rate of expenses that go out to product costs. At the same time, members get paid between 23 to 60% through direct retail margins. It's set up so you can sell directly to non-members and make profit margins. Most network marketing companies claim that you can make 30% retail profit margins, but reality states otherwise. Why? Because even the member price is generally higher than the market price. So it's virtually impossible to sell even higher to get 30% profit margin. Therefore, most products in network marketing industries are distributed at member price and retail prices are just nominal. With our company, member price is very low so that you can sell at the retail price and make that profit margin. I'll give you an extreme example. You purchase a 200-gram pharmaceutical grade toothpaste for $3. Even if you double the price and sell it for $6, people who buy them at $10 in drugstores will say it's a good price and buy it from you. And you're still able to make that retail profit margin. Only if the member price is low, you can realistically make a profit margin. Therefore, with our company, we decided to set the retail profit margin between 23 to 60%, but most other companies set margins only between 28 to 38%. While direct sales companies only give you 28 to 38% profit margin, our company got rid of the middle agents and distributors so that each member can deal directly with the company. We don't give exclusive distributor status to just anyone, but each member can purchase products in sets of 4 at distributor's price, sets of 3 at dealer's price, sets of 2 at special agent's price, and 1 at agent price. Thus, any member can purchase shampoo at distributor's price if you buy in sets of 4, and you can purchase the skincare set at distributor's price if you buy in sets of 4. So our system is set up in a way that you can purchase high quality products even if you don't have hundreds and thousands of dollars to start your own business. Anyone can purchase at distributor's price by buying in sets of 4. So even if you decide to use 2 for yourself and sell 2 to someone else, you can still double your money, meaning you'll be able to use 2 of your products for free. Therefore, we got rid of the middle distributor so you can deal directly with the company. We also drastically reduced the administrative expenses so we can pay out more commission. A commission rate of 35% cannot be matched by other network marketing companies. So how can we reduce the administrative expenses? This area is where we need to reduce dramatically, even to the point where there's no administration expenses. Administrative expenses mainly consist of employee salaries and office rental fees. So if we reduce the salary, meaning getting rid of employees working in the office, then the rent would be lower too. To minimize expenses is to have no employees at all. That's why one of our administrative goals is to have no employees. So that would mean having an automated computer-centered system. Therefore, in our main office in Korea, there are only a few employees, only about a 10th or 20th of other companies. When we first started the company, we took registrations over fax. Then the employees would input all the information. But now, we don't have anyone doing that job. How do people register now? You log on to the website and click on the Join Us tab. You put required information such as name, social number, address, bank account info, and sponsor ID number. Then click to check off and agree with the terms and conditions of the company, and that's the end of registration. Then you receive your ID number. With that ID number, you'll be able to make purchases immediately. Thus, we don't have any employee taking registrations in the office. The computer system does all the work, and even if we have hundreds and thousands of people using the computer system, there are no backlogs. We also don't have any employees taking orders. In the beginning, orders were placed through fax and put into the system by employees. We got rid of them early on. So how do we place orders? You go to the website and click Shopping Mall and start shopping. You add to your shopping cart and that's it. Then all the sales volume gets added up and directly applies to the compensation program. So after you made a purchase and go into My Purchase Record, you will notice the purchases are reflected immediately in real time. You can also see your partner's purchase records in My Group Purchase Record. So the system was created to do all that. For the longest time, we didn't even have a head of the data processing department. Even when our sales volume was at $4 million per month, we didn't have one. With 200,000 members, we still didn't have one. I was the first one. The second data processing manager was my wife, Director Do Kyung-hee. Back in 2000, I created an internet shopping mall called IamKorea.com. I dealt with 100,000 different products, but when it comes to data processing, I'm pretty good for a person who is disgusted by that area. So even when we didn't have a data processing manager, I was able to handle everything. It's easy. Just by clicking the compensation program, it calculates the commission payouts. Our company didn't even have a marketing director. So who came up with the sophisticated marketing plan? I created everything. The marketing plan that Royal Master Lee Do-gu just showed you was created by myself. If you wanted to create such a marketing plan, You would either hire someone, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, or have to rely on a consulting firm. But I spent endless nights trying to create this marketing plan. Then it took 3 days in front of the computer to finalize. Sleepless nights again. I only had instant noodles to eat and couldn't move until completion. Why? Because when I created the compensation plan, I created Sales Master, Diamond, Sharon Rose, and Star, but when I came back after a meal, I forgot everything. Then I'd start from the beginning again and start envisioning for a few hours, and as the big organization kicked into my head, I would create different scenarios, examine sales volume and the number of leaders produced and the compensation involved. I'd input all the numbers into this ever so slow computer in order to complete this marketing plan. So I couldn't get out of my seat for 3 whole days. So I finalized it, and it's an absolutely amazing compensation plan. Even I'm amazed by it. In a binary system, there is something called an n value that is bound to drop. But even after a few years, the n value has not dropped. Even I amazed myself and asked, God, did I really create this? I thought it would someday drop, but it still hasn't. And I think to myself, what a great job I've done. When this marketing plan entered the US, it became a phenomenon among people who understood it. Why? When this binary system came to Korea from the US, it wasn't fully complete. It came with many flaws. Through various experimenting and testing, I was able to resolve the issues, and the reborn version of this binary system is our Atomy marketing plan. So when you look at the 50-year history of network marketing, first, there were systems such as the breakaway, unilevel, and matrix systems, and these eventually evolved into the binary system. So it was concluded that the binary system was an easier plan and therefore worth trying. With other plans, you have to build 6 lines or 12 lines, where only those with special abilities can succeed. Only Superman can succeed. The characteristic of a binary plan is that because there are only 2 lines, you have to keep placing people underneath someone. You have to take them and put them all together in just 2 lines. And by doing that, it's not only myself that succeeds, but I get to help people succeed with me. That's the way the system has been set up. Atomy business is growing very rapidly in America. I created the marketing plan, and unnecessary expenses have been eliminated by doing so. And that's how we're able to divert the funds to pay out more to members. We don't have a purchasing department in the company. Then who does the purchasing? I, the CEO, am the one in charge of purchasing. And I do the initial ordering of the products. After the initial ordering, I request sets of 100,000, then sets of 300,000. So after the initial order, instead of products being delivered to the head office, it goes directly to the warehouse, where it's ready for shipment. The manufacturers can see how much stock is available in real time. When the barcode is scanned for orders to leave the warehouse, the system is linked to the manufacturers, who set a maximum and minimum carrying inventory to see whether more products need to be produced. Because of this fantastic automated system, we don't need anyone working as the middleman. When we first started, the manufacturer requested order slips, but I said all I would provide was the quantity of the products. And even that would be provided by the warehouse in real time. I said it's the manufacturer's responsibility to stock up the warehouse. Thus, it has been a very smooth cycle. As you can see, even without a middleman, we've created a marvelous system. We also don't have anyone mailing commission checks. When we first started the company, I personally used to mail commission checks. But now, I stopped doing that. Our commission program is set up so that it prints out a summary. It's then linked to the bank computer and inputted into the system. Then, at the set time, it gets wired to thousands of members at once, even if we're dozing off at work. So that's how this genius system is set up. A system that can run even if we don't have employees. Then you might ask, what do employees at Atomy do? 70% are consultants to give advice to new members about Atomy over the phone. There are only a few employees, and they are preparing for the future as well. For example, we currently have Dae-hyun Kim assigned as managing director in the US. We trained him for 1 year before he was stationed there. So in the future we will have a branch manager in Japan, China, Singapore, Vietnam, and so forth. We have to train that one person from the Korean main office and send that person out. That person is then sent out to look for an office and hire employees and set up the data processing system and start operating. So one person is sent to take responsibility for the whole country. So we currently have people in training in the Korean office, and they are the ones in the office as employees. We also have a broadcasting system in Korea. The LG IPTV 3355 channel is in operation. All you have to do is subscribe, and with that IPTV, you are connected to an internet cable line and can watch TV as well. The system is set up so you can listen to the content of today's seminar at home. Then you can invite your neighbors and family and listen to an Atomy seminar from your TV screen. That's how the system is set up. The world is opening up to smartphones. We now live in a world where you can watch videos and use internet from your phones. Looks like most of you here are not quite there yet. The world is opening up, but you might not yet be open to it. Not yet for you, but in the next 1 or 2 years, the chances are that you will be carrying smartphones. We are also currently working to link the broadcasting system to watch videos on your smartphones. Then, you'll be able to show our compensation plan with just a touch of your phone screen. You'll be able to show the video of Royal Master Lee Dogu's lecture and let them listen to it. If someone asks about the company, with a few touches on your phone, you can tell them, listen directly from the founder and CEO, and show them my video. In this information age, you'll be able to deliver our business fast and efficiently. So it's your cell phone that will grow your business. In your business card, just write down the website, your ID number, and password, and hand them out and tell them to browse through the website. If people are interested, they will watch videos about the company and products. So whether it's the business model, compensation plan, or success stories, you can show them on videos. That's the age we're living in, and it will be more prevalent in the next 1 or 2 years. Then there will be hardly anyone who won't do this business. That's why you need to start the business now. Now. And this is how you will speed up in spreading the business. So when you are sharing the business, don't think that you have to master the business and have all the information perfectly mastered before you can teach others. This is the know-how age. We live in the nowhere age. All you have to do is direct people to where the information is. Write it on your business card or email the info so they can go to our website and do the research for themselves. If we can direct them in the right direction, business will grow. So we have employees that are working in those areas to help you grow your business quickly. But in reality, we don't have very many on-site employees. Thus, we have over $7 million in sales volume, but only a handful of on-site employees. And majority of them, about 70%, work as mere advisors over the phone. Therefore, in reality, we've almost created a no personnel company where expenses are drastically reduced, meaning there's more payout to the members. Thus, you gain from products, you gain profit margin from retailing, and you also gain from network marketing commission. So the company doesn't get a huge share of the pie. But even from the small share, when new masters emerge, it means there were sales. But that doesn't necessarily mean profit for the company increases proportionally. So we then give out mastership bonuses. So once you become a sales master, you get some products as promotional gifts. And when you become a diamond master, your reward is a laptop computer along with the promotional products. At the Sharon Rose master level, we send you on an exclusive vacation to South Asia. And you get to stay in a 5-star hotel. Guam, Saipan, Kota Kinabalu, Cebu, all those famous movie sites. We've been around so many different places. So you and your guest are allotted about $8,000 each to travel, all-inclusive airfare, hotel accommodation, and food paid by the company. On top of that, you get a $2,000 cash reward for becoming Sharon Rose Master. When you achieve the Star Master level, you get 4 tickets for a trip to South Asia. To top it off, you will also get a $10,000 cash reward. If you maintain the Star Master level, your minimum commission is approximately $20,000 per month. One level higher is Royal Master. At this level, your minimum monthly commission is about $50,000. Once you achieve the Royal Master level, you will be awarded with $50,000 cash. So the month you achieved Royal Mastership, since your commission would be about $50,000, you've made about $100,000 in total. Then there's Crown Master above that. As a Crown Master, you would make approximately $70,000 per month. $300,000 cash is awarded to Crown Master. Also, once you're a Crown Master, you receive a company credit card with a $5,000 limit, and they are required to spend it all. Whatever amount not spent will go back to the company. You're required to maintain dignity. You are also awarded with Hyundai Ecus 380, worth about $70,000. If we have a Crown Master this year, I am going to pay the $300 in $10 bills. That's about 30 kilograms. The size of it will be like one of those huge suitcases. If we fill it up, that comes out to about $300,000. So that's how we're intending to reward you. Finally, there's the highest level, Imperial Master. Once you reach this level, you will be making about $100,000 per month. Another car will be awarded. And you will receive $2,500 per month for renting a 2,000 square foot office. So you can freely use them to help your business. On top of that, $2,000 per month for a chauffeur will be provided by the company. We will also provide you with a secretary expense of $1,500. For you ladies, think of it as having a bodyguard. Anyways, we will provide you with the wealthiest lifestyle imaginable. You will also receive a promotion reward of $1 million cash. That will be in $10 bills too. Do you know how much that would weigh? That's about 100 kilograms. Then I can't lift that up. So once we have an Imperial Master, I anticipate to have one by next year or the year after that at the latest. If all goes well, next year is possible. Well, I cannot lift 100 kilograms of cash, so after pondering, I came up with a solution. We can use a forklift. So we bought a forklift. For the Imperial Master Award ceremony, we will probably need a soccer stadium that can hold thousands of people. If we deliver $1 million cash on a forklift, do you think it will make the news? Yes or no? Of course we'll be in the news. You know why? There has never been a company awarding cash on a forklift. That's why. If you ever create something that's never done before, you'll be on the news. Some of you might ask, why not just deposit into the bank account? Why do you have to use a forklift? Then we don't have to be on the news. By giving cash reward on a forklift, we're sure to make it in the news. So when do we anticipate an Imperial Master? Logically, we can anticipate one at the $10 to $20 million sales volume level, but according to my calculation, we anticipate one at the $20 or $30 million monthly sales volume. In an average cosmetics company, if sales volume is $10 million, it spends about $3 million on advertising. That's how much they spend every month, about 30%. Why? Their products are pasted on many different magazines. Cosmetics companies are paying all the magazines, but it's ultimately the consumers that are paying for it. In addition, lots of money is spent on TV commercials, and that too is ultimately paid by consumers. In our company, at the $20 to $30 million sales level, we don't make lots of profit because prices are low and we give out lots of commission. But we can save about $1 million more than other companies. And for example, if we still don't have an Imperial Master at the $15 million mark, there's a chance that there won't be an Imperial Master even if the sales is higher. If that happens, we save bit by bit from each month. Then we only need to save 1 to 2% of sales each month to make $1 million. Giving out $1 million is not a problem. So don't worry. We will pay you. Some people worry so much about it that they can't even do the business. Stop worrying. Just keep going. Keep working, and when Imperial Mastership is achieved, you will be paid, without a doubt. Other companies, even if they have sales volume of $10 million, they spend $3 million on TV advertising, celebrities, and magazines. I definitely don't want any funds to go to waste like that. But it's customary to spend a minimum of $1 million at the $20 to $30 million sales level. So I will be delighted to give away that cash reward to our own Atomy family members. I would most happily do so. We are keeping all our funds within the family. And at the same time, our marketing can be more effective than paying millions to celebrities. When the 9 o'clock news starts, our forklift will start rolling. $1 million forklift will be the #1 most searched keyword on all portal sites in the world. That way, money stays internally and becomes more effective than paid advertising. Wouldn't you agree? This is a much better way to promote products than to spend millions of dollars. I believe that it's more effective to pay my own family than paying millions in advertising. My head is not just for decoration.
경영자가 머리를 이런 데다 써야 되는 거예요.
This is what CEOs need to
자,
use their
우리가
heads for.
일본을 진출하고 미국을 진출하고
So we have
러시아를
expanded
진출할 때
business to
애터미가
Japan,
무슨 회사냐고
USA,
물으면은
and eventually in Russia. And if you're asked what kind of company we are, you should say, haven't you heard of the company that delivers cash on a forklift? Yeah. Oh, yes. So that's will be their response. They'll know. So we're going to expand business with the forklift as our banner to dominate the global market. When I say we are going to have $100 billion sales, we have to keep accelerating and put our forklift in the lead. Speed means showing videos simultaneously to as many people as possible via smartphones to receive the information. That's the system in which we operate. As fast as the smartphones are marketed, I will be right behind along with our $1 million forklift. Koreans have competitive natures and want to be number one in everything they do. Of all nations, which country is known to have built the highest building structure? There's a 160-story building in Dubai. The reason I mention this building is because it's built by Koreans. The twin building in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. These 160-story buildings were built by Koreans. These are the kind of projects Koreans love. Why? If it takes 1 month to build one story, it will take 160 months to complete. Then it takes over 10 years to complete, and the bottom will start rotting already. Therefore, without the Koreans' faster, faster, faster mentality, the task cannot be accomplished. Koreans build 10 stories per month. Building 10 stories per month means one story is built in 3 days. If you ask Chinese people to build this, they say man di. So that's where Korea stands now. They want to be number one in everything they put their hands on. I travel and meet people from all over the world, but it's easy to detect Koreans anywhere. Why? You see fire in their eyes. Japanese people are courteous. Chinese people have big mouths. Koreans appear quiet on the outside, but they have fiery eyes. And they have that tenacious look. Those people are all Koreans. They are a bit different no matter where they are placed. They want to be number one in everything. So when I entered the network marketing business, I noticed lots of dissatisfaction. Amway, the US company, first came to Korea in 1989. So it's been over 20 years now. Amway is still the number one company in Korea. We definitely have to catch up and get ahead. If I cannot resolve this issue, I will continue to have sleepless nights. We have to be number one. Why? Network marketing is closely related to low-income life. When we talk about the job situation and the economic issues involved, network marketing businesses can solve many of these issues. Korea doesn't have to worry about the economy. No worries about the government. The only concerns are individual and household economy. Those are the biggest issues. So why are individual and household economies at issue? It is necessary to reflect upon it. We have to get to the roots of our financial issues. Don't just get frustrated and disheartened about your situation. Reflect and analyze your current situation and find out what is the problem. This is what I believe. Until very recently, there were lots of books on change and you will live. Transform yourself, radical transformation, transform or die. Lee Gun-hee, the chairman of Samsung, quoted, "Change everything except your spouse and kids." Then someone else came out and said, "Even your spouse and kids don't work, so change everything." Lee Jung-hyun, a singer, sang, "Change, change, and change everything." The whole country said that we have to change and create an uproar. But what have you done? Change or you will die. Change and you will live, is what was said. Hearing those words, what do you think you need to change? And why? There's a reason why we have to change. The world is changing, and you have to change with it as well. If the world doesn't change, you can live the way you've always lived and learn from the old schoolers how they succeeded in life. But times have changed, and people who've seen success in the past cannot succeed anymore. If you try to duplicate what they've done, you won't make it. In the past, everyone who graduated from college were able to get jobs. That was a fact when I graduated from college. But it's different now. Most graduates now have no jobs and wander around. We have come to the situation where even if you graduate from college, there is no solution. Times have changed. It's important to reflect upon how times have changed. Scholars agree that our society has gone through major changes from the first to second industrial revolution and now from second to third industrial revolution. First to second industrial revolution was a smooth transition. But second to third industrial revolution is posing challenges, and that's the reason we're facing crisis. Koreans traditionally believed that salespeople were peasants. They hated sales. But now, if you have money, do it. No money? Then it doesn't apply to me. Providing service ranges from operating restaurants to pubs. In the service industry, you will face competitions and at times hate what you're doing. Then there's distribution. With distribution, dealing with everyday necessity products makes the most sense. Distribution is also sales. But many Koreans have adverse reaction to sales. So if I tell you to take a box of Hemohim in your Atomy bag and sell it on the streets, you'll be embarrassed and sigh and wonder what's become of your life and start pitying yourself and resenting your husband. Who in the world will buy products from someone who's embarrassed in what he's selling? Likewise, men will have resentment towards their wives if they were placed in the same situation. Some think, other wives contribute in many ways when the business goes wrong. What's my wife doing? Buying and selling has always been looked down on. We live in an age of selling, and this trade is still looked down upon by many. This is where we need to change. The way we think about sales has to change. Change on your own and change for the better. In this age, you have to be proud of selling. It's a noble skill. Decide to learn sales skills and become a professional salesperson. Become the best salesperson ever. Know your products well to explain and carry yourself in a way to attract people and constantly improve yourself to be the best salesperson. You must tell yourself and think that you will be a great salesperson. But some of you might be sitting here and saying to yourself that you're here because you cannot sell. So although you might reluctantly sell, you'll tell your children not to follow you or your spouse in getting into the sales industry. Don't be like mommy, don't be like daddy. But it shouldn't be like that. You should tell your children that the only way to become wealthy in this generation is to get in sales. Tell them mom and dad will blaze a trail for you. And tell them to follow your footsteps. That's what you should be telling your children. But are you doing that? If you're not changing, you will not be able to succeed during this third industrial revolution. There was a lot of change and growth from the first to second industrial revolution. But there's more change from second to third industrial revolution. That's why it's a chance for you to become wealthy. And please, decide to become wealthy. You should think like a wealthy person. But most of you don't. Why do you continuously think of living an ordinary life? What's so good about that? You think it's okay to live paycheck to paycheck? That's stupid. You get paid $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 and struggle with your budget. What's so good about that? There's a Korean drama called Chuno. It's about a slave that was born a slave and tries to escape to become free. When you're caught escaping, they get tattooed on the face or get beaten to death. During that era, there was no way of changing your born identity, but now you can change and live a free life. Yet you're still living as peasants. I like living the ordinary life, you might say, but please don't. Don't be a powerless commoner. I used to be an ordinary commoner. My business went bankrupt, and I lived in a $500 rental place for 3 years. My house was so cold. During the winter, I had to paste 2 or 3 layers of plastic on the windows because it was so cold. Then the windowsill would become moldy and totally disgusting. I lived in that kind of place for 3 years. You don't want to be an ordinary commoner. Don't go there. What's so good about it? That's when I decided to escape and determined to do whatever it takes. I told myself that I will be wealthy again and live a wealthy lifestyle. Because of the bankruptcy at the time, I even became seriously ill, and the situation was totally hopeless. I was in total darkness and totally despaired. I had to keep reminding myself of the quote, "When there's no hope, the only hope is to have hope." That was a phrase from a book I read. The more hopeless you are, the more hope you have to have. That's the truth. Sometimes it seemed like I was in a cave and only darkness would prevail. In spite of being caved in, I decided to have hope and would see tiny streams of light at the end of the cave. It was a ray of hope. If you want to flee from despair, and although you might be in total darkness, you need to pick yourself up and focus on the beam of light and move forward. Many people say it's not possible and get despaired and have all sorts of excuses. They say it's all darkness. What I mean is, although you are in darkness and despair, if you see a tiny bit of potential and hope, you must walk towards the light one step at a time. And as you walk towards the light gets bigger and bigger. The entrance of the cave becomes bigger, and at some point you will realize you're out from the cave of despair. You have to decide in your mind to become wealthy. Decide to live a life of giving. Decide to have good retirement plans. Retire wealthy. Decide to pave the road for your children financially. Tell yourself you will be responsible and do it no matter what. In our generation, most of us started a family being poor without owning a house. There weren't many rich people then. How many wealthy families were there? As newlyweds, most of us started out living in small places, and we tightened our budget to start saving for that first house. So for your children, wouldn't you want to buy them their first house? You should decide to do that for them and do everything in your power to do so. If there's a way to do that, you should make any necessary sacrifice to give them that gift. If you weren't able to do that up to this point, because you don't have much education, experience, or special skills, be thankful that you met Atomy. Now you have a chance to become wealthy. All it takes is your decision. Atomy doesn't require you to bring investment funds. It doesn't require you to have special skills or knowledge. It doesn't require you to have special experience either. The company or your sponsor will provide all that, and so will our system.
어떤 어려움을 겪고라도 반드시 성공하겠다.
All you need is a determination to succeed.
그리고 내가
The willingness to persist and persevere no matter what struggle comes your way.
성공해야 된다는
And the reason why you must be successful is because of your loved ones. You have to succeed for your family's sake.
사랑하는 가족들이 있었기 때문에 돈도 없지.
When I was flat broke and seriously ill, when the doctor said that I only had a few months to live, the only reason to go on was my lovely family.
적인 상황에 처해 있을 때도
I was in total despair at the time.
세워놓고 내가
My liver cirrhosis got worse and blood sugar level was at over 400. But I had to take measures to remedy the situation.
사람이 많이 아프게 되면
I had to get out of bed because of my family. I had to find strength somehow. Seriously though, when you're very sick, instead of wanting to get better, at times you think of wanting to die quietly. It seems much easier. I already knew that I had my ticket to heaven booked. Nonetheless, for the sake of my family, I was determined to get out of bed and away from my sickness. Because of our loved ones,
나만
we have to live well.
박아놓고 그 돈 내 혼자 쓰겠다. 이렇게
It's not about making money to stash it so I can use it for myself selfishly. That shouldn't be the reason to make lots of money.
내가 잘 되기를 바라는
It's about taking care of my loving spouse or my children,
마지막 하시는
truly wishing the best lifestyle for them, and even for your parents who sincerely want us to succeed.
분이고 다
We must help them live comfortably in their old age. We also have siblings who need the support, but often it's only our hearts that goes out to them because we can barely get by ourselves financially.
잘 사는 사람이
We should want to become wealthy so that we can have the ability to help those around us that are in need.
저희 애터미와 함께 하신다고 하면은
So,
정말 좋은
if everyone has that determination to become wealthy by working with Atomy,
한번 사겠으면
Tommy's high quality, low priced products will be easy to sell to those around you.
우리가 다
Once they use the products, there will be repurchasing. So all you have to do is introduce the products.
잘 살 수
It's all about becoming wealthy together.
여러분
You have to decide to become successful.
이런 설명을 내가 어디 가서 어떻게
You must believe that you deserve to be wealthy. Then you can all be successful. You might question how you can explain all this to others. You don't have to explain. All you have to do is invite people to seminars. They ask what the seminar is all about. Just tell them it's amazing and they need to hear it for themselves. Just say, you have to go and listen, it's amazing. Then out of those people, there could be great businessmen or people with huge connections. You'll be able to find people that are even more passionate and assertive than you. And they'll work even harder than you. Share Atomy products with others and invite them to meetings and seminars. All you have to do is let's go and have a listen, and you will have success. I hope all of you can find success together with Atomy. That's it for today. Thank you.